Your Honor, the prosecution calls Detective D. Branch to the stand.
All right, Detective.
Ms. Branch, please state your name for the record.
My name is Dee Branch.
And Ms. Branch, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 43 years old and I currently work for the Miltonville Police Department, but I have an extensive background in the law enforcement from the federal, state, and local level.
And what additional work have you done in law enforcement, more specifically?
I worked closely with the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, and I am an adjunct instructor in Forsyth and Brunswick.
And what awards did you gain from all of your work?
I have gotten the Police Medal of Valor, the Meritorious Service Medal, and the POA Officer of the Year Award, or Officer of the Year and Georgia Award.
And what televised recognition have you gained for all of your work?
I've been recognized for my work in Newsweek, Dateline, NBC, and ABC News Program 2020.
And what is your relationship to this case?
I was the detective investigating the case.
Your Honor, the prosecution asked that Detective D. Branch be tendered as an expert witness in the field of criminal justice, as she has proven she knows more than the average person in that field.
Any objection?
Yes, Your Honor. Detective D. Branch has been investigated 2 different times for corruption in a case regarding Sasha Schwarzschild. I do not believe that they should be considered an expert. They should not have expert opinion on this case.
Criminal justice seems like a pretty broad category. Is there something more specific you would like to ask that she be declared an expert in?
She possibly in the field of homicide investigation.
The same basis for your objection?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I can address that if we would be able to and then re-ask.
Okay, yeah, please continue.
So in relation to that, there was quite an accusation against you. Please tell us what happened.
I was accused of allegedly tampering with evidence and breaking the case involving Sasha Korshnoy and her cousin Yasha. But nothing came of these accusations. I was never indicted, never suspended, and never reprimanded.
So just to clarify, it was false accusations that were proven to be untrue.
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, now that that has been disproven and clarified, we ask that Detective D. Branch be tendered as an expert in homicide investigation.
Your Honor, I still object on new grounds because in this case, there was a piece of evidence that was lost under D. Branch's directive, and I just still do not believe that he should be allowed to have an expert opinion regarding the circumstances of both his prior investigations and the what happened in this case.
Yeah, but do you think that this witness is qualified to be an expert? Aside from the issues that you have with her work, do you think she meets the qualifications to be declared an expert?
In homicide?
Correct.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So she will be an expert in, is it homicide investigation?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. So, who did you interview in pertaining to this case?
I interviewed Sasha Korshnoy, Venus Buffet, Joe Walker, and Lily Baines.
And from your perspective, what role did Sasha Korshnoy play?
Well, initially I believe they were my suspects, seeing that Zoe owed her almost $200,000, but I was able to rule her out. And Sasha was also a witness to seeing Logan Haynes drag Zoe into a restaurant at an exploit.
And what about C.J. Morgan's testimony accusing Sasha Korshnoy?
Well, I knew every minute I spoke with C.J. Morgan was a waste minute of my life because they're notorious con artists and have given a false testimony or a false tip in order to get a reduced sentence, so they just were not worth my time.
And what about Korshnoy's henchman, Mickey Monahan, as a possible suspect in this case?
He had a rock-solid alibi. He was seen by multiple witnesses at a UGA game and was seen leaving until after midnight and was home by 12:30, so he was not a suspect.
Okay, let's move on. Please elaborate more on the victim stealing money from the Georgia Bistro.
Joe Walker had informed me, had from Logan Haynes, also told me that
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay, she said that Joe Walker told her something. That's an out-of-court statement.
Your Honor, Joe Walker is here to testify, and under Rule 803, that is allowed since Joe Walker can testify to this information.
So Joe Walker will be testifying.
Yes, sir.
All right, objection overruled.
Yes, thank you.
I'll repeat the question. Please elaborate more on the victim stealing money.
Joe Walker had informed me on September 19th that he told Logan Haynes that Zoe was stealing money from the restaurant.
And how did Haynes react to learning this information?
Joe Walker informed me that on September 19th they were seen having an argument and that he threatened her life.
And what happened after the defendant was seen threatening the victim?
Joe Walker. Logan Haynes was seen leaving the building at 22:30, but Miss Torrance was never seen leaving.
Let's talk more about that. Who initially discovered the body?
The sous chef Phoenix Buffet discovered that the back door was unlocked at 7:15 a.m. on September 30th, and 15 minutes later, he discovered the body and called 911 and co-owner Logan Haynes.
And what did you observe upon your arrival to the scene?
Zoe was found inside a padlock cooler which only locked from the outside, and she was laid next to the words killer and the start of another letter in bacon, and the text was photograph of it.
Your Honor, I am now showing opposing counsel Exhibit 11 and Exhibit 7. May I first witness?
May.
Could you please identify the exhibits for the court?
This is the photo of the words killer and the start of another letter.
Objection, Your Honor, that has not been entered into evidence yet.
I'm asking her to identify the documents so that they can then be tendered into evidence, so a foundation for them to be entered.
Your Honor, I'm publishing it to the jury.
Yeah, I'll sustain the objection. We can't talk about what's in the exhibit until it's admitted.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
could you, is that a photo that the crime scene technicians took from the scene?
Yes,
And is it a fair and accurate representation of what you saw that day when you were there?
it is.
Your Honor, now that Exhibit 7's authenticity has been stipulated, we ask that it now be tendered into evidence.
Any objection?
Yes, Your Honor, that picture is hearsay, as it is an out-of-court statement that Zoe Torrance made, writing the word killer, which is trying to be offered for the truth of the matter, and therefore I object to it being entered into evidence.
Your Honor, the under stipulation 12-7 is not part of the photo exclusions. That is more prejudicial than probative and is very important to the matters of this case. And Detective D. Branch was there that day, so her personal knowledge allows this to be entered into evidence.
Your Honor, I did not object to speculation or relevancy, I objected to hearsay.
And I'm just saying.
So this was written by who?
It was a photograph taken by a crime scene technician that Detective D. Branch was at the scene when it was taken.
Anything further?
I still stand by my defense, and I believe that this is hearsay and it should not be entered. But I leave it under your discretion to
All right, thank you. It's admitted over objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. And additionally, could you identify what Exhibit 11 is?
This is the autopsy report showing how Zoe Torrance died.
And is this a fair and accurate representation of the autopsy report?
Yes.
Your Honor, now that Exhibit 11's authenticity has been stipulated, we ask that it be tendered into evidence.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, it's admitted.
Could you please hold up the photo of Exhibit 7? Why is this photograph important?
Well, hypothermia on its own could be an accident, but Zoe was trying to show us that this wasn't an accident and that she was murdered.
And so Zoe Torrance's death was hypothermia?
Yes, hypothermia and homicide.
Thank you. Your Honor, may I publish those exhibits to the jury?
You may.
Oh, sorry, jury, actually, I have one more question. Could you hold up the photo again? In your expert opinion, what could the start of the additional letter be?
In my expert opinion, this could be an E or is more likely an L.
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation. The witness is not an expert, or is an expert in homicide, but she's not an expert in like phonetics.
Your Honor, this is her expert testimony based on opinions or facts in the case that the expert has personally observed under Rule 703.
Let's see this. So what was the question again?
What the start of the additional letter may be.
This one on the end?
Yes, sir.
I'll allow it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
Now
you,
may I
Your Honor.
publish them to the jury?
You may.
What did defendant Haynes have to say about why Ms. Morris was there that evening?
Well, Haynes had told me that the restaurant wasn't locked at the time that he left, and Zoe was there to lock up the restaurant and check the belongings inventory.
Walk us through why you came to your conclusion and your expert opinion as to why Logan Haynes is the responsible party for Ms. Morris's death.
Well, the motivation was clear. The imminent bankruptcy of the Georgian Bistro would ruin him both professionally and personally, and in the case of Ms. Morris's death, he would receive $500,000, which would stop him and the restaurant from being in debt.
Your Honor, I am approaching the opposing counsel to show what has been previously marked as Exhibit 7. Or, sorry, 6, my bad. Okay. Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
Detective Branch, please identify this document.
This is the incident report regarding Zoe Morris's death.
Is this a true and accurate representation of the document that you wrote?
Yes.
Your Honor, now that the authenticity has been stipulated of Exhibit 6, we ask that it be tendered into evidence.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, it's submitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. And according to this incident report, whose fingerprints were found on the padlock to the cooler that Zoe Torrance was locked in?
Logan Haynes.
Whose fingerprints were found on the cooler door?
Logan Haynes.
And how about the 10-inch knife?
Logan Haynes.
And were there any fingerprints found on the rest of the knives?
No.
And were anyone else's fingerprints found at the scene?
No one else's fingerprints were found.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you like me to read them?
Detective Branch, you have been investigated 2 times for corruption, correct?
Yes, but I was never recommended to study for those occupations.
You were also investigated 2 times for connections to organized crime, weren't you?
Yes.
In that case, also, both of those cases related to evidence tampering with Sasha Portnoy, did they not?
Yes, they were first crime.
In fact, you actually originally arrested Sasha Portnoy for the murder of Zoe Torrance, did you not?
Yeah, I was able to rule her out though.
However, you had enough evidence to originally consider an arrest being worthy of being done.
Yes.
There was you wrote an incident report, yes?
Yes, I did.
I think you know.
Will you go to page 2 at the very start of that incident report, please?
Mm-hmm.
Now, on that page, it does say that Zoe Torrance had a cigarette burn on her right arm, correct?
It does, yes.
It also says that she has strangulation marks on the base of her neck, correct?
Yes.
You also say in that incident report that Zoe's death is consistent with a mob hit, do you not?
I did, yes.
Through your investigation, Detective Branch, did you find any evidence to suggest that Logan Haynes was in the mob?
No.
Did you find any evidence to suggest that he had any knowledge of mob killings?
No.
However, you met Sasha Portnoy through the Russian mob, did you not?
I did.
In that same incident report, you mentioned that when you interviewed Logan Haynes, she said that Zoe left a note behind the night she was murdered.
Yes.
Let the record reflect I am approaching opposing counsel of what has previously been identified as Exhibit 9. May I approach the witness?
You may.
Let the record reflect I am approaching the witness with what has previously been identified as Exhibit 9. You recognize that document, don't you, Detective?
I did.
You recognize that document because it is a copy of the note that Zoe Torrance left behind the night she was murdered, correct?
Yes.
And it is the same as you last remember it, correct?
Yes.
And it has not been changed, altered, or modified in any way, has it?
Doesn't appear to be.
Your Honor, the defense moves to enter what has previously been identified as Exhibit 9 into evidence as Exhibit 9.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
It's submitted.
Detective Branch, you failed to find that note during your original investigation, correct?
Yes, it was a mistake.
Mistake. And it was actually Logan Haynes who provided the note, correct?
It was, yes.
And just to to clarify, the handwriting on that note was confirmed to be Zoe Torrance's, yes?
Yes.
That note was lost before it could be analyzed as evidence, was it not?
It was.
And you have been accused in the past of evidence tampering? or
Objection, Your Honor, as to answer under Rule 611.
Your Honor, I'm just simply trying to establish a pattern here and reiterating on purpose for cross-examination.
I'll give it some leeway here and allow it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
My apologies. You have been accused of evidence tampering in a way of benefiting Sasha Portman in the past, have you not?
Yes, but again, I was never suspended, reprimanded for those accusations.
Now, you say that Logan Haynes purchased a padlock, correct?
Yes, he did.
And you're aware of the receipt of that padlock?
Yes.
Let the record reflect, I am now approaching opposing counsel of what has previously been identified as Exhibit 8. Let the record reflect, I am now approaching the witness of what has previously been identified as Exhibit 8. You recognize that document, don't you?
I do, yes.
You recognize that document because it is the receipt of the padlock that Logan Haynes purchased, don't you?
Yes.
And it has not been changed, altered, modified in any way, has it?
No.
Your Honor, the defense moved to enter what has previously been identified as Exhibit 8 into evidence as Exhibit 8.
Any objection to Exhibit A?
No objection, Your Honor.
It's admitted.
Detective Branch, you gave a signed statement that you swore, in which you swore to tell nothing but the truth, correct?
Yes.
And in that witness statement, you say that Logan Haynes purchased the padlock the day after Joe Walker informed him of Zoe Torrance's death, correct?
He did, yes.
So that means that you say Logan Haynes purchased the padlock on September 20th, 2025, yes?
I believe so.
Now, if you published the permission to publish the journal,
Yes, correct.
can we show that to the jury, please? The date on that receipt says August 26, 2025, and it has already been confirmed to be Logan Haynes, correct? And as a lead detective, it is of the utmost importance that you are able to keep dates and facts straight, detective, yes?
Yes.
And yet and yet evidence was lost under your rule, and you can't even remember the date of the...
Objection, upon question.
Allow me to rephrase, Your Honor.
All right, so sustain.
You've been accused of, or sorry, and you can't even keep the date straight of when the padlock that was used to murder Zoe Torrance was purchased.
Yes.
What was my shame?
All right. Any reiterate?